Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I'm in the middle of a hopefully rather minor project here. This is a 2003 Bolens rider mower. It's basically a rebadged MTD, I believe. It's 15 horse, 38 inch cut. It's got a overhead valve Briggs engine on it. And this was Uncle Phil's. I traded Uncle Phil that snapper mower that I had for several years for this, because this had some issues where he couldn't use it. But he can use the snapper as long as he wants to contend with the governor problems and carburetor problems and honk the horn problems and noise. Anyway, the issues that it had, but I think he can deal with it. I hope he will. But this one, it's all in pieces now, but I've got the deck and the back cover. You can see all that forward is just taken apart because the deal with this mower is that it would not operate slowly enough to cut the grass safely, which means no matter where the speed selector switch is or handle, it just went too fast. And I had an idea when you told me that what was wrong with it, and I think I'm right on that. It's our good old friend, the Varomatic transaxle assembly, or speed assembly, whatever you want to call it. What it is, this thing's got a transaxle back here. That's where this big pulley's mounted on the top of it. And that thing with the two grooves in it is the Varomatic pulley. And what happens is, you see that big large belt right there that comes off the crankshaft of the engine, and it turns this thing, and then that thing turns another belt, which is kind of laying loose right there. It goes around that pulley there, and that's the drive to drive the mower. That's not the deck drive, it's just the drive for the mower. And what happens is, this is really just like a crude CVT operation, continuously variable. It's like a golf cart sort of. This is a spring. This part in the middle there, that center sheave, is supposed to, or at least I believe it's supposed to, the whole thing I think is supposed to go up and down. I don't think this diameter here, this groove doesn't change, but I know this one's supposed to. Like right now, this belt, this thing is wide open. It's open about as far as it'll go, I think. And the belt is way down in there. And if you know anything about continuously variable, it's just simply the diameter of the pulley. And well, it's like how to explain this? If you think of the relationship between the crank pulley and this pulley, if that groove down there, that one on the bottom, closes up and the belt's way out here, then your effective diameter of the pulley is changed. And then if that thing opens up like it is now, and then the belt's just going around a part of it that's about this wide, then again the gear ratio and the effective diameter of the pulley is changed again. So that's what gives you your speeds. It's probably a pretty good idea. I don't know if it was that good in translation, but that's how you get the different speeds in the mower. And it's got this thing underneath it, I think. I'm pretty new in working on these things. This thing here, it should be, I think, connected to, this is your speed lever up here. I saw a picture, the plate's missing, but I saw a picture up here of how that works. And I can tell you, it ain't working right, because when you pull it all the way back like there, it won't go back all the way. That's I think that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or that's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this has probably got 6 slots on it. And I don't know what that is. That might be neutral. But anyway, so what happens is, this thing rides on this Varomatic pulley thing rides on this shaft in here, and it's got bearings in it, and it's supposed to be able to slide up and down to give you your different ratios. This part does. And so I think this together goes up and down. Well, this one is stuck. It's not doing that. So in other words, it is locked into the fast ratio. So what's going to have to happen is, I got to take that thing off, I guess, get under here and take it off, figure out how to take it off, and see what's wrong with it. Either the bearings have seized up or come apart or whatever. But that's what happens on these. Sometimes they don't drive, sometimes they drive too fast, sometimes they just lock up and the belt smokes and stuff. So this lever up here, Phil didn't know what any of this did, and I had to do some, yeah, that's disconnected too, looks like. I had to do some research myself. This is forward, neutral, and reverse, I think. So anyway, you guys that are into these mowers, you know all about these. You know what I'm up against here. So, and poor old Uncle Phil, you know, he was the funny thing about this is he was a small engine mechanic, but it surprises me sometimes about the things that he can't figure out how to take loose and fix. He says the bolts are loose on this rear end back here. They're going to take the rear end out of it. It has nothing to do with the rear end. If it's operating, it's not the rear end. It doesn't even have a transaxle in it. So it's got an axle. It's got a differential, but there's no transaxle in it per se. So anywho, I'm gonna figure out how to get this thing up off the ground and all that, and start dealing with that thing. I'll have to clean it up a little bit too. I just can't work on something that's dirty like that. So our old friend the Varimatic. Ooh. The fun part is going to have to be figuring out how to put this thing all back together. So if you guys have any tips for me on this before I get far into it, please let me know. So anyway, that's what I'm doing today. Got the old Plymouth fired up and moved over. I tell you what, that car's going to go back on the road. That thing has sat here for 2 years now. It starts every time. It runs perfectly. And so, ain't nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with me for not driving it. And I'm currently saving up my money for my exhaust system on that car. I'm going to order one. And unfortunately, exhaust pre-bent, good quality exhaust systems for those cars range from expensive to very expensive. Okay guys, I'm going to cut it off now. We'll see you down the road. Bye.